First Report, brought to you by Capital OTBBet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. Capital OTBBet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. We're in studio. It must be Wednesday. It's a beautiful Wednesday. I can't see it, but I can remember it coming into the studio. It's beautiful out there. Great day of racing, 9-race card, 110 kickoff, steeplechase. Anything happening in horse racing?
Yeah, it was another quiet week.
Another quiet Sunday. We just can't get through.
The big story, of course, was the putovers or the betting coups, or we'll see how it all plays out. But there was a couple of a trainer brought in a couple of horses from out of town and won at notable prices.
Made it look easy.
MB's Melanie Cares at $27 and Classic Rock at $18. They were tied into a couple of runners down at Monmouth. There was some interesting interrelationships between all of the horses, and then it was reported that the horses were getting played quite a bit in the through the books over in Europe and England, I guess in particular. And so there's, again, at this point, it's still up in the air what exactly happened. Were these horses, they just maybe kind of were under the radar a little bit, darkened the form a little bit, and they came and it was an old-fashioned betting coup, or was there a little more to it? We'll hopefully find out a little more going forward. But yeah, that was certainly the buzz on.
Have we found out who won the hopeful yet? We're not finding out. This is one of the great problems of no horse racing writers. There's no investigation on somebody that doesn't have a vested interest in what you learn. So
I agree with that completely. At the loss of mainstream media coverage, just Granny Welch and the folks who are out there do a nice job, but it's a different scenario when there's a kind of an unrelated to the game mainstream look at some of these things, and that's kind of gone now. But that was a big story. I will also know, speaking of Dave Grenick, he tweeted out IRAD's going to be out till the 22nd.
Saw that.
With some swelling and whatnot still there.
Which we talked about. Remember we talked about the other kind. It's the day after that it gets worse, and apparently it got dramatically worse, because that's that just about that. No, I shouldn't say that. That puts the kibosh on
10 days away.
Yeah, that puts the kibosh on the riding title for him. I mean, even he won't be able to overcome missing 10 more days of racing.
And you were at the sale, I understand. I missed you Monday night, but I will shout out. I know you were there because one of our viewers, Rob Daly, walked up to me, and I guess we've
very gracious
shout out before. He said he had met you on Monday.
He was very nice.
He stopped by and said hello to me last night, so appreciate Rob and his viewership.
Yes.
So that alerted me that you were there, but it's not surprising I missed you Monday night. It was a zoo Monday night, as the first night has become. And last night had a huge crowd, but it was wall to wall. And the sale itself was a record breaker, 35 horses at $1 million or over. 2 of them went for over $4 million. We had Nicole Russo loose on the lead on Sunday, and she pointed out one horse to take a look at, and that was the sibling to Brant, hit 136, went for $4.2 million. Overall, 152 sold for a record $118 million over the 2 nights, Monday and Tuesday. I
made a return visit after a generation away, raising our son. So Denise and I went Monday. Rob introduced himself, very nice person, and it was nothing like whatever the old days were. I mean, it was chaotic without being chaotic. Obviously, the phasic tip people have it under, but it was mass hysteria inside, outside, the back of the outside. It was, I would say this, it was, it seemed to be a lot. It had, I don't like to use the term a lot. It seemed very similar to Whitney Day. And what I mean by that is it seemed to be a social gathering.
It is.
I saw you had the book. So if at the racetrack you need to have a program for me to think you're dialed in, well, at the sales you need one of these. I saw a lot of people not walking around without one of these. They're just there to be there.
Yeah, it's a party. There's
and
no question about it.
You know, and it intrigues me because it's a very arcane part of the sport that affects like 8 people. You know, it's not like the track where you can make a score. It's like there's 8 people really that this involves, and yet it's captured, I'll say, the imagination. I can't even, I wouldn't be good at it, but 2,000 people maybe? I mean, I'm trying to get a figure on how, looking how packed it was and how many people. And I will say this. So we went Monday. We were there at about 6. The gavel went down late, which surprised me for like ding. And we stayed for about 3 hours, and it was packed. We were probably one of the first ones to leave, but it was a long day. I'd been in Philadelphia in the morning watching the U.S. Amateur. When I made these original plans with my wife, I didn't realize I was going to be in Philadelphia in the morning. I should have taken Tuesday and gone to the sales, but it was a lot of fun. But there was no elbow room. We were like, we were in like this dead zone because you couldn't see the auctioneer. You couldn't really see the people in the well, but we had space, and, there's plenty of TV monitors and such. But I did see, I guess an inning to mischief went for the 4.2 million last night. So it must have been the co-sales topper, I guess, as it would be, right?
I think that was the sales topper.
Okay. I was thinking, as I like to do, because my wife was getting excited when she saw the 7 figures early in the night. I think it was a curling, maybe like the first 25 hips. And I said, $1 million is $1 million. I said, but when I was really into the game, starting day in and day out, horses went for 2 or 4 million, and that would be the equivalent to 7 or 8 million now. So even though these numbers sound high, it's not like the crazy days of my youth. It's really, I look at the horses when they say claimers 12.5. That'd be like the equivalent to $4,000 claimers at Saratoga in 1984.
Although back in the day, there would be a limited, less than a handful of 7-figure horses, whereas last night there were 35 of them. So
there were $35 million horses.
35, not last over the 2 nights.
Oh, okay.
There were 35.
Okay. That's a lot. That's
and then 2 over the 4 million price. And I agree with you. It is kind of an arcane situation.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are there for the party. And I guess I always recommend people go because it is fun. And I assume I'm talking to our audience, they're horse racing fans. And if you're a horse racing fan, it's fun to go pick up a catalog. Maybe you learn a little more about the breeding side of the game, to play into the 2-year-old races. But it's also who's who of horse racing. I mean, Todd Pletcher, Bob Baffert, Kenny McPeak, trainers, owners.
It's fun.
So jockeys, I saw John Velasquez over there. So there's the big open bar out in the back, and you can get a drink and just kind of mingle around and watch the horses parade around outside, and then go into the ring inside. It's fun. It is a party atmosphere, and that first night, everybody kind of agrees. The first night has just become crazy, and it is,
and it helped. I was trying to, it helped when Keeneland dropped their Select July sale. That used to be the premier sale of the world. They voluntarily dropped it and decided to focus on their September one, and that allowed Fasig-Tipton to really become the on the calendar the first huge sale around the world. Because I would say the 3 biggest sales are Fasig-Tipton at Saratoga, Keeneland's September one, which is, it's like the world was created in less time than that sale takes, and Tattersall's in Europe. They're the 3 biggest ones. And, the flight lines came in, and Life is Good. It was very fun. I found it interesting. I was explaining to my wife that it might be the most democratic thing in the world, because what they do is they in a lottery, they choose a letter of the alphabet, and that becomes the mares, and that becomes the order, because no one voluntarily wants to be the first horse through the ring. So they said, forget that. This is how it's going to be. We're going to draw a letter, and then the mares line up alphabetically. And I was even talking to a veteran. He's not a sales guy. He's a race tracker. And he's like, I never knew that. I go, well, look, now all the mares will be in alphabetical. And you know what letter they started with?
This,
C. C was it. And it went on. So
and
I had a good time.
Yeah, you don't want to be the first. You don't really want to be the last.
No.
Last night, the last was not bad because I was standing up top watching, and down below the whole Rapoli contingent. He was clearly on the phone, and I'm assuming he was on the phone with Dave Portnoy because they picked up the final horse in the sale.
What time was that?
Probably about 10:30 or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because the other thing I said to my wife, I said, it used to be 3 days. It used to be Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday after the Jim Dandy. And I used to think it started later at night.
I think so too.
And I also said, well, you have to understand something. There's no racing on Monday, Tuesday now. So the horse racing community can get to the pavilion by 6:30. But I think it used to be an 8 o'clock
Yeah,
kickoff.
I think so too.
And it was 3
Back
nights, so
when
they
the
had
old,
fewer.
Spite and Dive was
Yeah,
the bar.
falling down.
You're in
And here's something.
somebody's living room, essentially.
Other thing I pointed out, you notice how nice the barns are at the sales? Those barns are pristine.
Yeah.
Might want to take it across the street. They are pristine. I mean, it was a fun night. I was tired. I was glad I did it, and we will probably make it a thing going forward. It was a fun night.
Oh, it is. It is absolutely a fun night. And I know over the years, a lot of people leave the sale and go over to Ciro's and eat. I don't know whether that's still a thing or not, but they would stay open very late back in the past.
Oh yeah, you're right. I remember that. That used to That used to be one of the, other than obviously Travers Day. That was like their best time sales.
Yeah. And just again, going back to the putovers and whatnot, there was also a $90 horse. This one from Michelle Nevin.
Was that Javier?
It was Javier. Take a Stance at $96 with some local ownership connections as well. So congratulations to them. But I was playing low rollers. The $96 horse hits. I pull up the leaderboard. 5 people had it. I went and cashed in my low rollers. I still had like 3 wagers left. I cashed in. It's like I'm not getting those 5. So congrats. No. And then at the end of the day, I ran into one of the folks, Jay, who handles it, and he had the winner with him. And I said, "Oh, so you must have had the crazy horse." He said, "I had both crazy horses." So I'm assuming he also had the 27.
He got the newsletter.
He got the.
So right, Jay's connected.
He doesn't. Not Jay's friend was the winner, and or I don't know friend, but he was with the winner. But so not only does he get the prize money, but his card has like $200 out. That was a great score.
One thing I've kind of think I figured out about these contests. If your goal is to win, I really think the only path to winning is on that last race. You have to be all in because no matter how obscure the winner is, 5% of the competition has that horse because they just spread out. There's like,
well, this one's $2 mythical, not $2 mythical. It's $2
pay
real
$2.
Win, play, show.
Yeah.
So it depends on how the day plays out. To me, a $96 winner. If there's 150 people in the contest, probably 5 people are going to have it, and you're done.
Yeah.
But if it plays out, I like a day more where you get some 8-1 to maybe 12-1 shots coming in, and you have one of those during the day, and then go a little.
I don't think I'm going to the Breeders' Cup this year, but I might make a phone call. I want to find out if anyone has ever won the BCBC and not had the winner in the last race, because it's not always the Classic, but the last race. I don't think a winner has ever not had the last race.
Yeah, that's live money, and that is a push in.
Yeah, they're just going to be like, you got to have the last race. Yeah. I mean, if you have a build-up, you're better off. But I'd like to see if I bet no one has ever won it that didn't have the last race winner. They get passed. Yeah. So that's interesting. The contests are starting to be more intriguing to me. Except I don't like I said, it's like you didn't really like that horse. You bet that horse because the math told you betting the horse you liked doesn't do it for you, so you bet another horse.
Yeah. Well, in the low rollers, I have gotten to the last race and done that. And gotten to the last race and needed the 30-1 shot. And so, yeah, you're not really handicapping. You're just looking at the odds.
No, you look at what I got to get.
The only shot you
Right,
have.
the 5-1 doesn't help me. And I think that's why I've said to you before, you should, like the old game of Clue, you have to put in an envelope your last 2 races. And I think the idea you had that I never thought of as another idea is, and I'm capping, like you list your top 3, let's say. The top one, you can bet 30% of your bankroll. The second one, you can bet 20% of your bankroll. And the third one. Now, you can still hack your way around that, but I'm going to limit the scope for you. Yeah. I think that's good. But I think I said, I'm shocked that is not, the low roller isn't a thing. And I don't know what the work behind it is. I don't know why it's not a thing at every racetrack every day. I don't get why it's so difficult. Here it is every day. Naira does it, what, 2 out of 5?
I agree, and it's fun, but you have to, there is some point, like you have to get 80 people in, and maybe on an average day, they just don't think they're going to be able to do that. You might be right. I think they could, I think it's the best thing in the game, so I think eventually you could market it. It's fun.
For the people.
Yeah, no question. All right, DePaula play of the day.
I understand Steve Bick has got it in the house. So here we go for the DePaula Chevrolet play of the day.
The race for savings is on. And no matter what your view, there's one proven winner. The finish line for value is at the DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford. At DePaula, there's more choice and more savings. Shop acres of new vehicles, along with certified pre-owned and commercial trucks. So just visit, call, or click DePaula.com. The proven winner for value. The DePaula Auto Group Albany. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford. More choice and more savings. DePaula.com.
Hey, everybody. Steve Bick here with you to start the second half of the meet. And it's got to be better than the first half of the meet. The DePaula play of the day. We've been absolutely whiffing on a daily basis. Let's try the 8th race and sail away. The number 5 to 1 for Gustavo Rodriguez, an Omaha Beach filly, for Flying P, Jay Provenza, and as a stable, 16 starts, 3 wins, 6 seconds, 1/3 at the meet. Most importantly, though, Sail Away turns back from a 1.1 miles, or 1 3/8 to a 1.1 miles turf to dirt. There's a lot to like. Santana aboard. You go back to that win in the mud on March 6th of earlier this year at Aqueduct. That would win this race. 5 to 1, Sail Away. The 1 and the 2, we're going to use Answered Prayers and Hidden Rose, the logical favorites, as your exacta combo. But the 5 is the key. 5 to 1, Sail Away. In the 8th race, the DePaula play of the day. Let's get the second half going with a nice pop. Good luck.
The race for savings is on. And no matter what your view, there's one proven winner. The finish line for value is at the DePaula Auto Group. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford. At DePaula, there's more choice and more savings. Shop acres of new vehicles, along with certified pre-owned and commercial trucks. So just visit, call, or click DePaula.com. The proven winner for value. The DePaula Auto Group Albany. Chevrolet, Mazda, and Ford. More choice and more savings. DePaula.com.
And welcome back, as we were just talking about AI, but something to speed up my data inputting. But there we have the Sticks reference for Steve Bick's play of the day. And as I think it was on Friday's show or something, I thought maybe that was halftime of the meet. And I know we're past halftime now because we must have 21 days of racing left, right? 3 weeks at 5, and then the sixer. I'm older and the meet is longer, but I have to tell you, it still flies by. Yeah. It absolutely flies by. And Brian Netto and I used to talk years ago about this weekend coming up, that this is the quiet weekend, that this would be the weekend if you had eligibility and we're like, I need a little breather, this is it. Because after that, it's, Alabama, Travers out the door. So let's kicking off the week as we usually do with a steeplechase, the Michael Walsh Novice.
6, 7, 4, and 3 for me. I'm going to put Famous Figure on top. I'm going obviously to the race 2 back down to Percy Warner last time. And I'm not thrilled. Comes up to Saratoga, and, you want to see him do well over a racetrack configuration, and didn't, but had some trouble, obviously, in that race. And so if we get away from that, and we have a jock on board today that is doing very well with a few starts up here at Saratoga this season. So I'm going to tilt to this one. Again, going back to that race 2 back and the fact that there was some trouble last time. Second spot, we're going to take a look at Philip, my dear. Last time, the second place finish just on the flat, was not over the jumps there, and I like that. 2 starts back, over the jumps, ran well, but again, had a nice try on the flat in prep for this, so I'll go in that direction as well. And Cyber Ninja in the 3rd spot for Sean Clancy's River D Stable. I know if you didn't get to see Sean on Loose on the Lead on Sunday, maybe pick up the replay. I know a lot of people have commented on that. It was fun Sunday morning when Sean was in with Steve Bick and I. But he's a River D Stable, and Cyber Ninja, again, coming off a close-up finish in the Kaiser last time, might wind up actually being the one to beat. But for me, in the first 6, 7, 4, and 3. Now,
you said Percy Warner, like it rolled off your tongue. Are you season ticket holders there? Where is that located?
Nashville. That's one of the big meets, jump meets at the start of the season.
Okay, because I love the city of Nashville. I anticipate going back.
Mark that one on your calendar.
Well, I don't know when they run because it's definitely going to be in conjunction with Kentucky Downs. So maybe they run in the autumn also. I'm 7-3-4. I did look at this a little bit, and the only angle I've ever had much success with is the flat prep onto the jumps. That's it.
Second race this afternoon, Maiden Claimers, $55,000 tags. They will travel 5.5.
I know they're not as flashy as Maiden Special Weights, but to me, it's about the competitive nature and maybe, getting a price. I'm 6-8. My bestie is the firster that I am on board with, an offspring of Game Winner. Melanie Giddings sends out this runner. Just guessing with Sean Bridgman. For second, I think I teased about this, Seth, earlier when this horse ran, Juno, which I think is the only state capital you can't drive to. A little surrounded by water on an island, I guess. First time in for a tag. But the debut, unless you did, I'm surprised that's a 55 on debut. It's not in the slop. I know I'm actually surprised that the buyer people put out a speed figure for 4.5 furlong races. They typically don't for the Keeneland 4.5. I think they're but I thought that was something you could build on. Ken McPeak, who I saw the other night and is a friend of my friend, sees it differently, and he's going to run for a tag today, the offspring of Bolt D'Oro. And then for third, Beechwood's Best, 6-8 for me.
4, 3, 2, and 8. Business Math on top. Jackie's Warrior. I've said this a number of times. A little bit disappointed with Jackie's Warrior as the start of the sire career with first-time starters. 33 of them, 2 wins, 3 seconds, 7 thirds. Overall, pretty good in the money, but again, only 2 of 33 with wins. But as I say, showing some punch first time out of the box. This one did not do that in the debut, but that was against Maiden Specials. It was also on a sloppy track. I'll give this one another shot. Steve Asmussen runners will typically improve with one under the belt. Jose Ortiz sticks on board. This is the first fall from the dam. The dam herself won in her second career start. So I'll go back to Business Math, take another shot here. Juno, Bolt D'Oro, 16% with first-time starters. This one obviously didn't live up to it in the first 2 so far. But as you say, the first start of the career was okay. Yeah. Dam won in her second start. There's a lone sibling to run, ran 4th in both of only 2 starts in the career. So, it's the thing is there's nothing jumping off here really in this bunch. Dream About in the mix. Matoli, 12% with first-time starters. The dam herself was unraced. But there were a couple of siblings that were okay. Infinity Squared won the first 2 starts of the career. Trick Bag won the first 3 starts of the career, albeit in Norway and Sweden. Other siblings maybe not as win early, but there was enough there again in a feel that it doesn't have anything jumping off the page to use that one in the mix. For me, 4, 3, 2, and 8.
Take a quick break. When we come back, more from Saratoga.
For more than 4 generations, the Cerrone family have continued the 104-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed over the last 104 years, but not Pennell's commitment to the finest Italian cuisine. Pennell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922, 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
It only takes one upset to make history, and now you can be part of Saratoga's long tradition at the Dark Horse Mercantile. The Dark Horse Mercantile offers a carefully curated selection of clothing, gifts, and home decor, from one-of-a-kind vintage racing memorabilia to select brands like Barber and Under Armour, as well as exclusive Dark Horse branded merchandise. So celebrate the Dark Horse in all of us at the Dark Horse Mercantile, downtown Saratoga, where the smart bet is always the Dark Horse.
Looking for the best turf racing in North America? Your starting gate is woodbine.com/USA. It's your home for everything Woodbine racing, live streaming, premium content, and exclusive offers you won't find anywhere else. Catch every stretch run, every thrilling finish, while wagering through your favorite betting platforms. Don't just follow the action, be part of it. Visit woodbine.com/USA today.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We're up to race number 3. Well, once again, maiden claimers in for 55, also going 5.5, but this time on the turf.
I have it 7, 4, 9, and 8 up with lots of kisses on top. Dropped in for the tag last time and just missed. I'll give this one another shot. And again, Irad Ortiz listed on board, but as I said earlier, Dave Grenick tweeted out a couple hours ago, Irad's still going to be on the sidelines, it seems like. So, check your scratches and changes there. RP Byrne in the second spot, Wesley Ward, trainee, goes out, relatively lightly raced for a 3-year-old. But what we've seen so far, at least the last couple of starts, let's put it that way. Gulfstream back in April, and after a little bit of a break, the comeback or middle of July here, we're pretty good and in and around this company. Should mix it up with this bunch again today. And so Leia, if I'm anywhere close, go for it.
Stop. I would guess it's Celaya, which is a very
Celaya, okay, that's
very expensive Italian red wine.
All right,
but I don't.
I'll totally buy into that.
I mean,
and that sounds like a better pronunciation anyway.
It debuted at Keeneland, so probably.
Yeah. And the last race was at this tag at Saratoga, 4th place finish. That was okay. The other two are maybe a little more intriguing to me, but certainly being lightly raced, there's still some potential upside. I have it 7, 4, 9, and 8.
Yeah.
That makes complete sense.
What I did was how you almost always pick it up like a derivative of sire and dam. Well, that was a dead end, but the owner had an opinion. I'm 4-7-2, so just reversing the top two. RP Byrne, my top pick. 4, Wesley Ward, in for a tag again, ran very well most recently. Lots of kisses. Race goes through them according to the morning line, and then Key Actress first off to claim. 4, Linda Rice, who takes blinkers off. 4-7-2.
4th race kicks off the pick 6, and again with the crazy prices on Sunday, there's a carryover in the pick 6, $192,000.
Now, please tell me that's at least a 2-day carryover. They're not going that crazy in the pick 6, are they?
I don't think it is.
You think it's a 1-day carryover?
No, there wasn't a carryover Sunday, was there?
I'm not a And the pick 6 would be the last of the horizontals that I would. You take a moment.
I'll look it up. I'll look it up while you're handicapping.
Yeah, absolutely.
So again, 4th race kicks off that pick 6 with the carryover. These are $45,000 open claimers going 6.5.
And it intrigues me how I'm just gonna say how many 6.5 furlong races we've had, and one of the things also is I don't think I'm the only one that's suspicious of the teletimer. It's probably the one dirt race, and sometimes we seem to get some buyer speed figures, whether it's from the teletimer. I've talked about the Quality Road Amsterdam race where he set the track record, but I was suspicious because it was a New York bred, according to the teletimer, going 6 furlongs that went like 22 and change on the turn, which is Breeders' Cup type time. So I'm 6.52 in here. Fiddling Felix going out, dropping down out of multiple allowance races, is 0 for 5 at Saratoga. But as I like to say, when they're 8-1 and maybe better, the higher the price, the more questions you can ask. But on the other side, we're only probably, we've run an 84 at Saratoga. That'd probably be pretty good here. So he has a back number that could make him competitive for Tyler. Number 5, Inexorable going out for Linda Rice. Claimed this horse for 62. I saw Roddy and Mary Valenti the Saturday at the racetrack, coming off of a Churchill Downs 1 mile race that was much deeper than this. And Power Attack, 6.52 in the 4th.
And there was no carryover on Sunday, so this is just the Sunday.
They bet like $260,000 on the pick 6.
But I was trying to pull up, and I will pull it up here. The late pick, the pick 5 pools have been big.
Well, what was the pool? Well, just go to the end. You want to see the early pick 5? What was the pool for the pick 6? I mean, it had to be gigantic.
Pool for the pick 6.
260?
302.
Oh, it's kind of close.
But the pick 5, the late pick 5 pool.
Well, let me just say this: the pick 6 is back, folks. At least at Saratoga.
Well, the late pick 5 pool was 1.1 million.
Well, the Dave Grinning article that talks about the CAWs being way down, and the retailers not only carrying that depression and going forward, but even adjusted for inflation, 300,000 on a non-carryover. Yeah. Kudos to the bettors.
I will, again, hat tip to the folks at NYRA for their changes with regard to the CAWs, because it's been very productive and good for the retail players. 4th race for me, 5, 7, 4, and 3. I'm going to put Inexorable on top 4. Roddy, claimed 2 back down at Churchill, ran okay in that race, and then they bumped up a little bit at Churchill. Now they get probably to more realistic level. And again, with IROD on board, we'll see who jumps on this afternoon. In the second slot, I'm going to go with Paradise Alley. Last few starts has been going against better. This one was claimed 3 back for 55, and again, against the better the last couple. So another one that I think gets back to what is perhaps more of the comfort zone. And then in the 3rd spot, Classic Time. Similar scenario, getting a class drop here that should be productive. Again, this is one of those, given what we've seen in the last few starts against better, I don't know whether you're jumping into this with a whole lot of confidence, but you're certainly hoping and expecting the class does move some of these horses forward. In the 4th, again, kicking off that pick 6 with the carryover, 5, 7, 4, and 3.
On to the 5th race. We have 3-year-olds.
Wasn't this a break?
Oh, that's the even numbers. That's right.
Yeah.
2, 4, 6. We take a quick break. When we come back, the late pick 5.
The only thing better than watching the races is watching your own racehorse. With nearly 20 years experience in the racing industry, Bonaventure Stables' share-based ownership program enables everyday fans to become part owner of a thoroughbred for far less than you might think, with all the ownership perks at Saratoga, Belmont, Aqueduct, and other great tracks. Experience the thrill and lifestyle of owning your own thoroughbred racehorse. Learn more at bonaventurestables.com.
Capital OTB is now streaming live on Roku. The RTN Racing channel on Roku lets you watch OTB TV live through your Roku device or your Amazon Fire Stick, rather than being limited to computers and mobile devices, which means you can now watch OTB live wherever you are. Simply open Roku, scroll to find the RTN channel, then click on OTB TV. OTB TV on Roku. Try it now.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Handicappers Sport alongside Seth Merrow. I am Anthony Mormino. Wednesdays in studios. We are on the turf at 1 mile and a 16th, the inner turf. These are claimers in for 35, 2L.
5, 8, 6, and 7. I'll put Brillante on top for Chad Brown. Ended the 2025 season in the Florida Oaks, which was back in March of last year. Comes back in June. So again, we've talked about, you have mentioned it numerous times. Does the layoff matter anymore? Well, as the favorite winds up third, but less than a length away there on the comeback. With that one now under the belt and a little extra class relief for this one, makes sense as a short price favorite. Artistic Success in the second spot. Joe Sharp trainee, been at this level the past couple of starts, including last time right here at Saratoga. Showed some punch before fading. Wouldn't surprise beaten as the beaten favorite. Wouldn't surprise me if that speed pop attempt is made again, and that's always dangerous. Hadn't really shown that in the couple of previous races, but you go on the page, that on the front end strategy is not foreign to this horse. And as I say, from the outside, could be a little bit intriguing. And from the outside on mile and 16, that may be the smart move to try to beat them all to the first turn. Greyjoy in the third spot. Another one that was right at about this level last time. Ran an okay third. Should be in the hunt again today off of that. In the fifth, 5, 8, 6, and 7.
I have, 6, 5, 8, as you see. Greyjoy, to me, this is, we have to run a little bit better, but this is the third start rooting on the turf at the 2L level on the previous two, and I think can be very competitive. Has to run a couple figures higher than the odds-on horse, but if the odds-on horse regresses a little bit off of the layoff, that's possible. Brillante, I'm surprised you didn't mention the race before, the race leading up to the layoff was against Nitrogen when she was a turfer in the Florida Oaks. And
Lush Lips.
Yes, Lush Lips. And you have to figure that, that something probably went wrong in the race. I mean, she was completely non-competitive at 6-1, went to the sidelines. The only thing I'm betting on, and this is probably a poor choice by my part, is, the race was June 27th off the layoff. It's a lot of time in the brilliant hands of Chad Brown, but I'm hoping for a little regression. Got beat at even money, 6, 5, 8 for me.
Race number 6 this afternoon, we are looking at that sales restricted maiden special weight category, 5.5 on the grass.
And we didn't see too many. I did not see too many on Monday night that would qualify for this condition. I don't know. I don't recall, and sometimes your attention is turned, you're talking with people. I don't think I saw a 5-figure horse.
I don't think, you're right.
All of them were.
I was talking to people plenty as well, but I would find it hard to believe. But and this is notable as well. If you didn't get a chance to go Monday and Tuesday, New York bred sales coming up, and that's become popular.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I saw the blue book
too.
next to the white book.
Yep.
All right. My turn, right? 3, 4, 7, plenty in here. What do we have? We have the maximum also eligible. So as Jeff Carl taught me, there could have been 41 entered into this race, but only 16 get a chance, and only 10 are in the main body. Oh, wow. We are completely, okay. Wow. Jeez. We have, even if you take the 2 also eligibles that Seth has on the list, and I think almost every one of these also eligible, Seth, all 6 of them are cross-entered in the main body on Friday. I was taking a look at that. So I'm 3, 4, 7. I typically stay in the main body in here. Oh My Maria, Riley Mott sends out the 3 on debut, and Offspring of Twirling Candy, who I think, now listen, 75,000 is a serious chunk of change. But boy, Twirling Candy has such a good resume as a stallion. Both surfaces seems to be a fair price. We go out for the debut today. Number 4, Bank The Money, honey. Linda Rice is firster from Central Banker, and for third, Bourbon Mojo. Jamie Beggs sends out this runner. Quietly good meet with very limited starters. 3, 4, 7 for me.
I have your top two just at the bottom of my mix: 12, 10, 8, and 3. The 4 if the 12 doesn't get in, but a couple deep on the A list. Southern Kiss, Golden Pal, very good with first-time starters, 38 of them. 8 wins, 8 seconds, 6 thirds. This one didn't live up to that in the debut as the 5-2 favorite, but just missed for Mark Cassie down at Ellis. There's a sibling called Bacchio that won 3 of the first 4 starts. So there's win early, top and bottom. And as I say, just missed in debut. If this one sneaks in. Second spot, YOLO Train, Jack Christopher. Okay, starting the career. 22 first-time starters, 3 wins the second, 2 thirds. The Dam won in her second career start. Sibling Streets of War won in its second career start. Chad Brown, Michael Dubb, I'll put that one in the mix as well. And then Sweet Grace, a couple of siblings. Silsby won in the second start. Catchphrase third, then second, then won in the third start. So I thought there was some win early there. Got some experience in the debut. Oh My Maria, again, no arguments there as a player. Shin Sun, a sibling, was a debut winner. So for me, in the 6th at Saratoga, 12, 10, 8, and 3. The 12 doesn't get in. Look at the 4.
We'll take our final break. When we come back, the late pick 3.
For more than 4 generations, the Cerrone family have continued the 104-year tradition of delighting their local following and faithful summer crowd with the finest authentic Italian recipes. Classic Italian dishes made with the freshest ingredients, served in a home-like setting. Some things have changed over the last 104 years, but not Pinnell's commitment to the finest Italian cuisine. Pinnell's Italian Restaurant, a Saratoga tradition since 1922, 284 Jefferson Street, just minutes from the track.
Come on.
I want sales reports on my desk by Monday.
Oops. My bad.
Love racing? RTN brings you every live simulcast on your home television, plus live video streaming and race replays on your PC and mobile devices. To order, visit rtn.tv. RTN, a breed apart.
Sometimes it pays to go with the flow, to check your worries at the door, to reconnect with your crew, to follow the thrills and the flavor, to roll with it and see where it takes you, to enjoy every minute to its fullest, and to dance like there's no tomorrow. You can do that here at Rivers Casino and Resort Schenectady, where the good times flow.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Race number 7. 9-race card today. State bred, Philly, 2-year-old fillies, maiden special weights, going 6.
6, 10, 8, and 11. The 3 is also interesting to me, Under the Moon. Not going to argue anybody off of that one, but I went with Lauren's Time on top as the Dark Horse play of the day.
Whoa.
Brought to you by the Dark Horse Mercantile and Impressions of Saratoga, both on Broadway, right in downtown Saratoga Springs. Swing by and say hello. You will absolutely enjoy your visit. Looking to get something going. Last week was a little slow at the Dark Horse, so we'll see what we can get going here. This one by Yalpon, 21% with first-time starters. I mean, that's a solid number. This is the Dam's first foal to race, but the Dam herself, 5th in debut, 2nd in the second career start. That was on dirt, won the 4th career start on turf, but again, had a good dirt start in the second start of the career. So again, I thought there was a little win early, certainly on top, maybe with the Dam herself. Plus it's Chad Brown. That's a win early trainer, obviously, and they're coming in with a bullet workout. So I thought there were plenty of things to put check marks next to lean in this direction in the career debut to make this one the Dark Horse play of the day in race number 7, horse number 6, Lauren's Time. Second spot, number 10, Sweet Lisa, Twirling Candy, 16% with first-time starters. Again, didn't quite live up to that in the debut, but now has that one under the belt. Linda Rice is good with second-time starters. There were some siblings. Let It Ride, excuse me, second in debut, won the next 2 starts. Ada May won the second start of the career, so maybe this one lives up to the older siblings at a nice price as well. And then Saratoga Lake going out for Adelphi and Company, Horacio De Paz runner by Violence, who's a good first out starter. I could tilt there as well. And then I will mention Cyber Baby. It's my friend Craig Kins and some of the guys I play basketball with at the Saratoga Y are in on this one. Firster by Cyberknife, who's doing okay with his first-time starters. The dam herself was unraced, and this is the first from the dam, but nice steady string of workouts. The gang was all at the track last week when this one was set to debut, and then was a gate scratch, but they're back in today, so certainly rooting for Cyber Baby, and I have that one down the 4th spot. I certainly think is eligible to be in the mix in the 7, 6, 10, 8, and 11.
And when did people stop saying standing in line? Did I miss the newsletter that we were going to change that?
Standing in line?
It's now what? Standing in the queue. Like they just changed it. No one says it. No one used this word. I'm 6'4", so I maybe should talk. I'm with Seth on the top pick, and it's mostly Yaupon and the price for New York bred driving me. But in the queue, no one said that in the 70s, 80s, 90s, the aughts.
But people use that a lot?
A lot. No one says I was standing in the line. It's gone away. It's like I missed the memo. And then for 3rd, Under the Moon, Joe Sharp's a firster for Jose Ortiz. But 6'4", it just vanished.
No, I know Q had become a little more.
Go stand in the queue over there. I go, no one said that. Tell me you heard that before 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Not once.
No, it has become more prevalent, but I didn't know it was knocking out and standing in line.
Yeah, people.
I still say standing.
Yeah, because we're old.
Yeah, bro. The 8th race this afternoon, optional claimer, not winners are one other than 9 furlongs is the distance.
213. I suspected we'd be in the same ballpark. I tried to make a case. You got the Styx reference with Steve Bick's play of the day, Sail Away, Flying P. I just couldn't pull the trigger. The best trigger I could pull was like Higher Force for 3rd, coming off victory. But I'm Hidden Rose on top for Miguel Clement, who I saw on Monday night. Won an allowance condition by a pole. That was at Finger Lakes, but raced very well in this condition at the Spa a month later. That was July 9th, my opening day. Now comes back at 9 furlongs to complete 2 turns. For 2nd, Answered Prayers. We certainly hope so for Bill Mott. Even though it was a good effort in the slot, I try and emphasize how I compartmentalize that. But the two-turn races in Kentucky on fast race tracks were a W and a 2nd, and for 3rd, Higher Force. Rudy Rodriguez having a quiet meet, 2-1-3.
2, 7, and 4 for me. I'm also with Hidden Rose on top. Just seems to be moving in the right direction. Last few starts, the buyer number going forward nicely. 2 starts back, a big win up at Finger Lakes. But again, the number coming to Saratoga for the 2nd last time moved forward. So I'll go in that direction. Answered Prayers makes sense with some competitive numbers as compared to this bunch as well. Comes up from the sloppy track near miss last time down at Churchill, but overall lightly raced, and you would think still perhaps some blue sky ahead. Serafia in the 3rd spot. You go down the page, there are numbers that maybe make this one the one to beat. The last couple were a little bit disappointing, but they were back March, April at Oaklawn, so a little time off, and maybe we come back getting back to those better numbers for Steve Asmus, and wouldn't count that out of the equation, and that makes Serafia very, very tough in here. In the 8th at Saratoga, 2, 1, 7, and 4.
And wrapping it up, we have Open Company, 3-year-olds and up, Phillies and Mariners. Maiden claimers in for $85,000, going a mile on the inner turf. I also want to mention that, and I'm always intrigued at the start of a week, so here we have the inner listed at 18 feet, the rails up, and I thought I saw, is it 12 feet on the and 12 feet on the melon or the main or the outer. So the rails will be up on both surfaces.
9, 5, 7, and 10 for me. I'm going to put Mistborn on top. Chad Brown runner making that potent maiden special weight to maiden claiming move. Comes up from a try at Monmouth. Good 2nd place finish. But again, the class move is kind of the key here. Second spot, we'll go with number 5, Gum for Graham Motion. Has fired some very nice races, obviously, throughout the career. 5 in the money finishes and 7 starts so far. And that includes a third place finish last time when dropped in for a tag. That was a $100,000 tag. Who's a little bit down the claiming ladder today, may be beneficial. And Bourbon Milk Punch in the third spot for Horacio De Paz. Comes in off a couple of tries up here at Saratoga, albeit in made special weight company. So it does make that move in for the tag, although you go down the page, this horse has raced for a tag before. That said, the races for a tag were pretty good, so I think that'll be beneficial this afternoon. In the ninth, I have it 9, 5, 7, and 10.
Notice the plethora of bourbon popping up in horses' names.
There is that.
Well, the one group.
Yeah, there's the Bourbon Lane group that obviously.
that they're going to go. But this is, you think maybe they had them first, this horse first?
That's a good question. Yeah.
I'd say there's a very high possibility.
That's
but Bourbon. I mean, I get them confused sometimes which horse it is because not only are they Bourbon, but the names, they kind of have like the 3 names. They have the similarity that, you can get it past me sometimes. But I'm strikingly similar. I'm 5'9", and this is, the type of race where it really displays just the slight difference how Seth and I publicly handicap. I think the race goes through Mistborn, number 9 for Chad Brown, first time in for a tag. Very tough, but I'm thinking maybe 6-5 on the morning line. And Gum, I'd be happy to settle for 9-2 right now for Graham Motion. This is second time in for a tag. In the 8th career start, the first time was for the 100. And the 85 to me is still a pretty steep price today in today's market. So Gum, I have with Johnny V, making the 4th start. Mistborn for 2nd. The race goes through the 9, and then for 3rd, Resort for Michael Trambetta back in for a tag. But 5, 9, and 3 in an intriguing finale to me. For me.
Let me hit on some of the promos and events coming up here at Capital OTB over the upcoming week. Don't forget the prize wheel Wednesdays down here at the Clubhouse Racebook. That means today, if you come down to the club, you can maybe get your chance to spin the prize wheel, put your name in the hat. Folks selected throughout the afternoon. There's vouchers and various prizes on the prize wheel. That happens Wednesdays here at the Clubhouse Racebook. Thursday, match bet promotion. Put your losing tickets in the bin. They get pulled out, and you get if they pull out your ticket, you get a bet at the value of the ticket you put in. So, again, don't put in your $1.20 losing tickets. Try to put a little ticket in with a little value and see if you can get an extra play during the afternoon on Thursdays here at the Racebook. Fridays, the Players Bankroll. Come on down. Again, put your name in the hat. The Players team gets selected. Everybody gets some money and a race to play and a little dough to play into it, and then that all gets split up, the winnings at the end of the day. Saturday, the Bounty Bet returns late pick 5 at Saratoga. Take your pop at the Bounty Bet by just playing the late pick 5 at Saratoga with your Capital OTB Bet account, and you're in for a shot. King of the Hill contest happens here at the Racebook every Saturday. That's always a lot of fun, and there's $600 up for grabs this week. Sunday, I have the pick 3 bankroll. That team has been selected. We'll try to knock it out of the park on behalf of the team. So rooting for the team. But here at the Clubhouse Racebook on Sunday, it's the $100 win-a-bet contest. Always a lot of fun. So throughout the season, something happening virtually every Saratoga racing day here at the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue in Albany.
Yes. And in 22 hours, we'll be trackside. And I will say, other than the biblical rain we had on the Tuesday that canceled the racing for Wednesday 2 weeks ago today, it has been an incredible run. At least I know it was very hot that Independence Day 3 days that I missed. But from August 9th, when I've been on the desk, there's been, I wonder what the off-the-turf races are. I'll probably have that.
I was thinking about this last night, and that you brought it up. Other than that crazy rain, which was crazy enough to cancel a whole day of racing, but other than that, there has not been. I mean, the thing you don't want is rain to get the turf races, we've had heat and some humidity, so it's been maybe a little bit uncomfortable. But the real, thing you want to avoid is the rain. And for the most part, so far, I hope I'm not jinxing it, but so far it's
and if you remember, so they moved to Glens Falls, which made a lot of sense. So I'm guessing there was probably 2 or 3 other turf races scheduled that day that came off. But I would bet a Pepsi fewer than 8.
I would say,
and I want to make it comfortable to win the Pepsi. If you said to me, how many do you think? I'd say 4.
Yeah, that sounds more likely.
We're past the halfway point. We're in the middle of August now. We've run, if my math is right, we've run 24 days, which I always use as a, because that's what I grew up with, 24 days. It's probably as few races off the turf as we've ever enjoyed.
Yeah,
I mean, because it also shows you then, it means it didn't rain that morning a little bit. I mean, it's really been a dry summer. So, here's hoping as obviously the meet is building to, the 2 of the 3 biggest races of the meet. So looks like a great day out there. Once again, 9 race card, 1:10 kickoff. He stays, I go. Well, no, you don't go.
That's right.
Get a little, see, it's all so different. He was, by the way, you can't keep score, but he was early today. He beat me today. Now tell him why.
I was thinking 9 o'clock. And then luckily it all worked out because I got stuck in traffic behind an accident.
So that's how we got to get set early on. Yeah, he would have been late for trying to be early for being in a wrong time, and he catches everything. But
all worked out.
I didn't get nervous because I knew where I was timed at. And I saw Seth's car. I go, oh, good for Seth. He, got down here early. I said, he probably has some work to do on Friday's card. But have a great Wednesday. We'll see you trackside tomorrow.
This has been the Handicappers Report, brought to you by Capital OTB Bet.com, the premier online wagering site in New York State. Capital OTB Bet.com. Sign up today. And the Clubhouse Racebook, 711 Central Avenue, Albany. Make it to the Clubhouse Racebook.